Chapter 7, we've named this chapter Moving the Needle. So now that the medical device sales professional has earned that next meeting or earned that next set of discussions, has started to build trust and credibility, how should they approach this stage?
So I think the next stage really revolves around identifying true areas where you could possibly present a solution. You're maybe not quite ready to start throwing out those solutions yet, right? You're not going to go in there and again, you're not quite to a point where you want to just say, oh, I can do this and this. But instead, it's more about probing. Okay, doctor, last time we met, we talked about this particular condition, and I understand that's a tough condition to treat, and the things on the market aren't great for that or haven't worked the best. What would you see as the ideal product? What would you identify as the ideal situation that would help you solve this particular issue? And so you're trying to get these important, what is important to that customer? Oh, again, for some people, it might be price. Hey, I own a surgery center. The most important thing to me is having a low price. That's the solution for this particular market. Mm-hmm. On the other hand, somebody else might be, hey, I need it to fit within a certain cannula for my arthroscopy procedure. Mm-hmm. I need it to not react to the bone in a certain way. So again, what you're doing is you're probing and getting more information about the specifics of around the product you have. And certainly your product's going to come up, or at least the localized section of products are going to come up in that particular area, whether it be anchors or hardware or implants or something like that, or an injectable type of item. And so at this point, you're really trying to see, does your product potentially fit in as a solution in their practice? And that's important for two reasons. Number one, if there is a role, now you can then start developing a plan to develop that solution, which is the third phase, right? To try to get them to do that. Mm-hmm. Or two, if it just is like, hey, this person is just not going to, my product is not going to fit in this person's practice, then again, that's okay. That's just not where you want to be spending your time, right? That person may be a nice doctor. They may be good to talk to, and you may want to develop a personal friendship outside. But when you're talking about where's the most efficient use of my time, if your product is a product that's just not going to fit into their practice, then you need to save your time and money and go call on somebody else and spend your time and energy and your efficient time in discussing with people who you have an opportunity to potentially influence and make a change. And that's just as important as knowing if this person is going to purchase something or going to potentially choose to use your product, because then you're really determining how you spend your time and money.
So as you exit that call, is it fair to say your goal is to gain agreement that this is a point of frustration or a challenge that you're facing, and that the goal would be to come back and say, let me come back to you with a couple of options for you to consider. Is that a good goal?
Yes, I think that's a good goal, as well as you picking up on the emotional cues again of what's driving that decision, right? Mm-hmm. What is going to make the surgeon, quote, happy or comfortable? And again, it varies. It could be anything, like I said, from price. It could be maybe the rep who's using the product that they're using just doesn't show up on time. It could be as simple as that.
Yeah.
And just having somebody show up on time, or equipment's just not getting to the right place at the right time. Where is it in the equation that you can potentially put yourself and be a solution for that particular surgeon's issues?
Right. Trying to find a source where you can add value.
And and you're not going to quite propose the solution yet, right? Mm-hmm. That's key right now. Sometimes that's where I think people make mistake. They jump the gun a little bit and they hear, oh, I can, and you can run in, and they're not right. I can fix that. And they're not quite ready yet to form the argument, right? They know they can fix it, but they don't know, they haven't massaged the process enough to really get the message clean and crisp and clear.
Right.
But there is that tendency to say, okay, I'll fix it. And at this point, I would argue that's not necessarily the role of this visit. Now, you could potentially indicate, hey, doctor, if I could find some solutions for you, would you be interested in meeting again? Right? There's something there. Hey, if I think my company may have something that might be useful in based on what you've told me. And sometimes repeating back to the doctor what said, doctor, you've told me that the most important things to you in these products are 1, 2, and 3. Is that correct? Yes, it is. Okay. Based on that, I think there might be some things we could help with. I'm going to go back. I'm going to look it over. And if we can agree to meet again, then I'll bring those solutions for us to discuss.
Yes, that's a pro move for sure. Good.